Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from Sydney English Teacher and from the Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. And I'd like to say a big welcome to episode 53 of my Question of the Day series. What a lovely day it is today, and I really thank you for joining me. I'm sending you big greetings from sunny Sydney in Australia. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day for episode 53. I really hope that you have enjoyed the previous 52 episodes. And if you haven't watched them yet, definitely go back and see what they're all about. But what are we doing today? Well, today we have a great question, and it's asked quite a lot. The question is, what is the best method for revision? Hmm. Have you asked this question before? Yeah. As you know, revision is the key to language success. Without revision, without practice, it's impossible to learn the English language, to learn any language, really. Nobody can remember, understand, and use new language by only meeting it or seeing it or hearing it or even using it just once. You know, it's so important to re-meet, revisit, rehear, reuse language as often as possible. Obviously, even more important if you want to use it correctly and eliminate your mistakes and become more confident and fluent. That's what it's all about. So today, I'll answer this important question: what is the best method for revision? But instead of giving you a really general answer, I'm going to give you a few practical tips which you can use immediately for the different English skill areas. Because as you know, revising pronunciation or writing, for example, is very, very different to revising vocabulary or grammar. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Okay, are you ready to begin? Well, the first tip I have for you today in how to revise more effectively, I suppose, is to choose 3 or 4 words to focus on every single day. Just 3 or 4 words. As you know, it's really important to revise. Let me say that again. It's not important or not necessary to revise a whole book of vocabulary or to work your way through the dictionary in one day, in one week, in one month. It's impossible. And that's definitely not revision. So let's be practical about this, okay? Instead of doing it all at once, how about you reduce the number of words that you revise every day? You know, revise them properly, do it properly so that you learn them. You understand them, you know them, you make them your own. Instead of revising just once a week and revising 100 words, make it a daily activity, make it more frequent, more regular, something that you make part of your daily routine and that you enjoy, that you look forward to. I'd recommend 3 or 4 words a day. That's the ideal number. If you want more, then an absolute maximum of 5 or 6 words, no more than that. And of course, use these 3 or 4 words, or 5 or 6 words, as often as possible throughout the day. How can you do this? By writing them in sentences, by using them in emails or text messages, maybe write them on your hand as a reminder to use them when you speak throughout the day. You could even ask people questions using these words so that you use them, but you also hear them when they speak back at you. You could even create a story or maybe a paragraph using all of those words together. So, lots of fun, lots of ideas to practically use these words and make them your own. And it doesn't take too long. Okay, so invest that time every day. And you know what? By the end of the day, you'll be perfect with these 3 or 4 words. I guarantee it. Next, another really important way to revise, to improve, to develop your skills and confidence is to listen over and over again. What do I mean by that? Well, a really great way to revise your listening skills and to develop your listening skills, which is, the goal, I suppose, is to listen to the same audio over and over again. It could be, a podcast, it could be a YouTube video, it could be an English lesson. It could be a song, it doesn't matter, but the same audio over and over again. The first time you listen to it, just listen in general to see what it's all about. Then listen again and take a few notes. Write down a few words. Then listen again and add more notes, more words, more details with each listening that you do. Listen as often as you need to. There's no limit here. And by the end, I guarantee that you will understand almost everything from that audio. And the bonus is that you have heard those words in context many, many, many times. So you will recognize them. You will understand them if you hear them again in another context. And even better, your pronunciation of these words will be better too, because you know exactly what they should sound like. Sounds good, huh? So just remember, revision is not only about practicing your writing. You can revise by listening too. Yeah, kill 2 birds with one stone. Practice, revise, and develop your listening at the same time. Next, another great way to revise is by starting a personal dictionary. I'd like you to record all of the new words that you meet and that you'd like to remember in a vocabulary book. I call it a personal dictionary, and I encourage all of my students to start a personal dictionary. So go and record all of the words that you find interesting, all of the words that you'd like to use and make your own. Record them in your own personal dictionary, your own vocabulary book. And look, whenever you need to write something, or whenever you want to prepare something to say, like a speech, then flick through your personal dictionary. Look through your personal dictionary and use the words that are inside. Yeah. A great way to do this as a revision activity and to make the most of your daily off time when you're not really doing anything, such as when you're sitting on a bus or a train, just looking out the window, or when you're sitting in a cafe having a coffee. A great way to make the most of that downtime is to go through your vocabulary book, to go through your personal dictionary, and to test yourself on those words. Yeah, it's a really effective way to reuse these words and to keep them front and center in your mind. That's what we want. We don't want to forget them, do we? Great. Another really great tip to help you revise and revise effectively is to read for at least 20 minutes every single day. You know, the perfect way to revise the English language is to read, because you are revising your reading, your vocabulary, your grammar, and it's helping you with your writing as well. So, reading is really bringing all those skills together. I always suggest that you read a news item. You're going to read the news anyway to know what's happening in the world or in your country. So make it in English. Read the news in English. And of course, the more you read, the more you come across the same vocabulary, the same grammatical structures. You see them again and again, especially if you read similar articles about similar topics. Yeah, it sticks in your brain, doesn't it? So read for at least 20 minutes a day. That's not only a great learning activity, development activity, but it's a great revision activity as well. So, a quick look here at the 4 things I've mentioned today. Number one, focus on just 3 or 4 words a day. Don't overdo it. If you want to revise, then it's always quality instead of quantity. Choose less words to revise, but focus on them. Practice them. Use them more often throughout the day, and you'll get better results. Number two, repeat the same audio over and over again. If you listen to the same thing again and again and again, of course you'll understand more and more with each listening. It goes without saying. Number three, write down all of the new words that you would like to use and remember and understand, of course. So start your own personal dictionary for vocabulary learning and, of course, for revision success. And number four, of course, read as much as possible, 20 minutes a day as the absolute minimum. Okay, think of your daily reading as an actual revision exercise. Read the news in English. You're going to read it anyway, so do it in English. So, a few points there for you to remember. And before we finish today's session, I'd like to give you a quick bonus tip to think about. Never ever underestimate the importance of revision. I think you realize by now how important revising is when it comes to learning a language. The more you revise, the more you make the English language your own. And that's absolutely true. You can't make the language your own and use it and understand it confidently, accurately, if you're not revising, if you don't use or hear or see the same language, the same structure over and over again. So revision and practice combined are the key to language success. Revision and practice together are very, very powerful. So don't just practice, revise as well. And of course, learn new things at the same time. So, that's all from me today. I hope you really enjoyed episode number 53 of my Question of the Day series. Yeah, if you have any questions at all about today's session, or if you have a particular question about learning English or learning a language that you'd like me to answer, please get in touch. I'd love to help you. Of course, I'd also love for you to join my learning community. You can join me for free over on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group, on my YouTube channel, on my website, on my blog. There's so many free learning resources, videos, lessons for you to access. But if you'd like to go into more detail, of course, you're also welcome to join any of my online courses or programs. I'd love to help you. So thank you again for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the topic of today's Question of the Day episode, and I really look forward to bringing you another great question and lots of great tips, lots more wonderful tips for you to implement in the next episode.